If you're not intentionally uncomfortable several times a day, you are not growing. And if you aren't growing, you feel stagnant. And if you feel stagnant, you feel depressed. And if you feel depressed, you definitely ain't selling and you definitely ain't leading your family the right way. Like, that's why everything that I'm saying is how I've been able to make millions in sales. Number one that you got to know to become a better salesperson is you have to have audacity. Listen, man, if you can't have audacity, there's no way you're going to be able to prospect, because a lot of us are scared of rejection. Be vulnerable on here. Nobody likes to be rejected. And if you're acting like you don't, you're bullshit yourself. Some of you guys, if you feel like you're quiet or you're introverted, if you just started to just develop that audacity, that courage, just to say what you believe, to stop worrying about what people think, you will become a savage salesperson. I didn't start off this way. I was very quiet. I was very shy. I was 19 years old, 18 when I started selling. I was nervous. There was people that were making a lot more money than me and they were my clients. I still had to have the audacity and walk in the room and have a conversation and show these people that I had something for them to offer, okay? That's a good handshake. That's a good first impression. That's looking them in their eye. That's getting to number two, which is repetition. In order to grow your level of audacity, you're gonna have to get repetition, okay? I challenged David Ramos on here a couple of weeks ago to go out to Starbucks because he's very shy. And I said, David, you're gonna go out and you're gonna sit in the Starbucks and you're gonna pay for 3 people's coffee, and you're gonna walk up, pay for their coffee, and then you're going to talk to a stranger, and you're gonna learn to master strangers in scenarios where you don't know them. They're not buying anything from you. And on top of that, you're gonna figure out a way to get a selfie with them and become friends with them on Facebook. That to me is what I do every single day. Mike, how many leads did I generate myself this weekend?
At least 100, if not more, that I didn't see.
Yes, and I can show you my spreadsheet if you think I'm bull. Okay, I have the audacity. If I see somebody's face and they look at me and I just smile and I walk up to them, I say, hey, how you doing? Hey, you're down here at the Vault Conference, man. What's one thing you're looking to take away from it? You see, I'm shaking my head, and I usually have 2 or 3 things I fall back on. Hey, what's one thing you're trying to take away from this conference? That's a good question. I'm a sales trainer. I'm a leadership trainer. What if they say sales or leadership? Man, you know, I heard Patrick talk about sales. You know, I'm just not a very good salesperson. No way. You seem like you talk very well. What do you do for a living? And I start talking to them. I get curious. Write that word down. You're gonna have to get curious. You should get so curious that you're just like always trying to figure out what the customer, where they came from, what they do for a living, what their outcome is. If they've invested in a product like yours before, you have this puzzle in your mind of who this customer is and what they do, and you're trying to connect it all together and figure out the one thing that's the most frustrating thing that keeps them up at night. If you're not self-generating and learning how to hunt, you're a fisherman waiting for something to bite, and you're just like sitting there like, oh, I hope today's great. Gosh, man, whoa, it wasn't a great day today. I'll come back and try again. Dude, I'm going out there to hunt. You know what? Here's a networking tip. Okay, you see these pictures? I take a picture with somebody, whether they've known me on social media or not. I'm like, man, getting to know you here at this event, you're my kind of person. Like, I really actually like you. Do you mind if I just get a quick picture with you so we can remember this moment? Yeah, click. And I'm like, all right, cool. I'm gonna text it to you. And I immediately text it to him. Why? Because then I put them here in my notes section. Here's all the leads that I got this weekend, all the leads that I got. See that? Keep scrolling. Those are self-generated. For 3 days, I'm on the hunt. I know there's some people out here that I want to do business with. By the end of the night, every single night, my freaking jaw hurt. Does your jaw hurt? Are you getting that much repetition with your speaking ability? Problem with a lot of you guys is, and I'm just being real, you're not running towards enough pressure. You know the things that you're sweeping under the rug, but yet you walk by them like a dumb every day. Like, don't walk by them. Expose those weaknesses. If you're not intentionally uncomfortable several times a day, you are not growing. And if you aren't growing, you feel stagnant. And if you feel stagnant, you feel depressed. And if you feel depressed, you definitely ain't selling, and you definitely ain't leading your family the right way. So work on it. Everybody write down one thing right now that you can get massive repetition on, that you know if you just did it and you became a master of it. Maybe you see somebody that's a better public speaker than you and you want to be like that, but you don't ever go public speak. Write it down. Write the word Toastmasters down. It's a free group in every city in the world, and you can go there and public speak all you want. Who will do it is the key. And that's the reason why you're not building your brand and getting on social media, because you're worried about what everybody else thinks of you. You have to knock that off. You cannot get a big life if you're worried about what other people think of you. Remember how I said audacity? If you're gonna have audacity and you're gonna go out and get this big life, you gotta be able to block the haters out. Some of these people, they've never met me in their life and they jump in my comments and say hateful stuff. I don't care. If you got time to do that, I already know that you probably don't have a good life and you're just trying to project your insecurities on me. We can't let that hold us back from building our brands. You're not actually saying what you want to say when you get on social media. Your message would resonate very well with somebody in the world. Your clients would come to you in 5s or 10s or 100s, but you won't do it. I want you guys to commit to a couple of things. I want you to commit to your repetition of speaking. Hey, it's the Macklin Twins. Thanks for watching the video.
Listen, if you want our free word track guide, 52 word tracks will teach you how to dominate sales, just text 480-780-2203. It'll teach you how to dominate. Let's get back to the video.
Text us, let's go. Number 3, discipline. The discipline to do follow-up calls. 90% of the salespeople in the world only do 1.4 follow-up calls, and the biggest deals that I've ever made, they're on the 5th to the 8th touch. I think a majority of you right now, if you had more discipline with your follow-up, if you had more discipline with getting customers actually what they want and delivering on everything that you said you were gonna do, and actually doing the work that you promised your wife and your kids and everybody you were gonna do when you get into work, you'd win. If your kids saw you work, would they say, man, Dad, he's so disciplined. He makes the follow-up calls, man. Gosh, he posts twice a day, just like he said he would. Gosh, my dad every morning, he said he was gonna wake up at 5 in the morning every morning. He does it. You know, my dad's like a superhero. True story, there was a guy in my neighborhood, his dad, Kurt, used to run around with his shirt off, and every single one of the neighbor women would be talking about him. It was crazy. They were all married, and they'd all stand at the windows just peeking out, just like watching old Kurt run by. Just telling you guys, man, if you don't believe that your wife wants somebody that's better in shape, I'm not saying that people in shape don't have problems. I am saying that I think a direct reflection of some of your mindsets right now is related to some of the things that you have going on up here, and the fastest way to shift that is changing your physical state. You will be in a better mood. You will be able to process problems a little bit quicker. You will be able to stay in gratitude. You will be able to not get triggered as much. And if you're super successful with not doing it right now, once you actually get that piece down, you're gonna kill it. But think about it real quick, man. Can you be more disciplined in your follow-up? Let me just give you a couple of tips. Hey, Tommy, it's Evan Macklin over at Andy Elliott's. Hey, just following up with you, man. I saw that your kids are going to Duke University, dude. Awesome, dude. Just wanted to tell you, I've got 2 kids. And so to be a to get a kid into Division I lacrosse at a university like that is freaking phenomenal. Love you, buddy. Just wanted to tell you, we appreciate you. Click, okay? Call the next one. Hey, awesome. What's going on, man? Evan from Andy's office, just checking up on you, man. Yeah. Remember you bought one of our programs a couple months ago? Dude, just want to see how everything's going. Yeah, man. You need anything from us, you got to let me know. Okay, cool. How's the wife? How's Alicia? How's Harper? Cool. They're doing good? Man, sweet, brother. All right, cool, man. Hey, I gotta go. I gotta jump on this call, but I wanted to just touch base with you real quick. Click. I'm gonna call and build relationships, guys. It's not always about the sale. I have a top 100 client list. My top 100 client list is people that I really love to be around. They're people that send me referrals. They're people that I know their friends, I know their family, I know their story. I have very good notes in my CRM about them. And I follow up with them once to twice a month. But are you fighting for them? Are you building those relationships? I used to think in the car business it was stupid because there was this guy, Todd Swarzynski. He would always take his clients skiing and do all this extra stuff with them. I'm like, bro, sell them and move on. What are you doing? And Todd just built deep relationships with customers where he could sell 15 to 20 custom cars a month. He would always work the days that I didn't work and also take my half deals. He was really smart because I would always send him deals. He built relationships with about 75 to 80 people, and he would just work those deals and work those relationships, and everybody loved him. The clients that have spent the most money with you, how deep of a relationship have you built with them? Do you know their story? Do you know their pain? Do you know their problems? Do you know their family? And are you gonna do stuff with them that's non-transactional? How much follow-up can you do? I would say this. I like to jab, and then throw a punch. So I might follow up a couple times, hear what's going on in their life. There's so many times where I'm following up with my non-transactional follow-up, and the next thing you know, they mention one thing that I know I can solve, and then the next thing you know, we're in a deal discussion, which leads me to number 4, intuition. You gotta have a good intuition in sales. You gotta be one of these people that have the ability to qualify a lead before you pitch them a product or present a product to them. I know when I'm talking to one of my clients approximately what they can afford. I don't go into it thinking just exactly what their budget is. I sell products that are thousands of dollars, so they'll tell me thousands of dollars below their number. So I don't really like to make that stuff real. How I create my intuition and awareness for clients is through basic conversation, where they've been, if they've bought these products before, what kind of job they have, are they a manager? Some of you guys got to get really used to knowing the vibe of your client and then knowing which product to put them on if it's a base model vehicle versus a fully loaded vehicle. And you gotta be a detective in sales. Remember how I said you gotta be curious? I had the intuition when I met my wife, guys. I'm just gonna tell you. When I saw her sitting at this little bar, I seen her sitting down, I was like, dude. Like right when I talked to her, within like 5 minutes, I'm like, man, I'd marry this girl. I didn't want to tell her that because I didn't want to be a creep, Rachel. I was like, I just was like playing my cards right. I was trying to look not desperate. You know, I meet my wife and instead of asking for her phone number, you know, I had worked hard on my Instagram for the last couple of years. So I'm sitting next to her at a bar, we talk, you know, we dance, I'm being the funny guy, I'm getting her to laugh. Some of you guys got to get people to laugh. Break the freaking ice, man. Be yourself. She always tells the story. She's like, I just can't believe you didn't ask for my phone number that night. No way. I said, hey, pull up your Instagram. Remember how I said, you take the pictures, do the networking? I'm like, hey, pull up your Instagram real quick. Cool, let's just take a picture. I really like you. You're super cool. Here, boom. I'm gonna text, I just DM'd it to you. Now you got my Instagram, cool. Hey, have a good night. You guys are awesome. You know, if I can ever do anything for you guys, cool, let me know. Boom. Next thing you know, she's scrolling on your boy's Instagram. She's in the funnel. She's trapped in the sales cycle. She's like, oh, damn, this guy's cool. I like, whoa, he's up to stuff. You know, next thing you know, boom, the follow-up comes 2-3 days later, the 2-day follow-up message. Okay, then the 5-day follow-up message comes. And then on day 7, I sold her on the appointment, which was coming back out to go dancing with me. I can't dance, guys, but I sure as hell got some confidence in myself and I don't care what anybody thinks. So I got out there and she was like, man, I really like you. You have a lot of fun. That's a presentation. It's the same with your kids. It's the same with your friends. It's the same with your family. Everything is sales. But do you have a strong intuition? The way that you get a stronger intuition is you do more presentations. And the way you do more presentations is you have more audacity. And the way you have more audacity is you have more repetition. You see how it all lines up together? Number 5. Your confidence. I can't buy from a salesperson that can't look me in the eye. I feel like they're lying. Tip for freaking eye contact. The second you feel yourself retreating back or you feel like it's getting weird, lean forward just a little bit. Like trigger yourself, just lean a little forward. The second you look away, you lost. You gotta get really good at just staring people down. People can also see in your eyes. That's why I talked about intentions early on. When you're on fire and you're in progress, like I can feel your frequency. I know what you're doing behind the scenes. I know what you're doing in the dark. So when you're in your sales process and it's in the light and the stadium lights are on, I know you've been doing the work. I can see it in your face. And you can too. And you know when you're bullshit. You know when you're not. I want you to ask yourself, am I doing the work behind the scenes to become the best in the world? The top 1%. People need to have swagger and they need to have confidence. I love giving out compliments. It's honestly the most selfish thing I do for myself every single day, although it makes other people feel good. Because when I make other people feel good, I in turn feel really, really, really good about myself. So like I am like that guy that will go out and give compliments and find things, and I give out real compliments, right? Jackson's been working out really, really hard. If I were to see him in person and like I notice that he's changed and I'm like, hey bro, you been working out pretty hard? You look a little different, dude. If I tell him, look at him, he's already about to crash the damn car. He's like, yeah, you know, it's like, he's like excited. Guys, you gotta become really good at complimenting the people around you. Plus, it'll make people feel more powerful around you. And if you can make people feel more powerful around you, you'll become a better leader, okay? That helps me have confidence. Like that's why everything that I'm saying is how I've been able to make millions in sales. Number 6, the last one, to become the best salesperson in the world, I lacked this for a lot of years, was character. There's a couple of things that you got to know about character. If you say that the client's going to get window 10 on the deal, if you say they're going to get a second key on this, if you say they're going to get something that you promise, you show up and you deliver it. If you say you're going to call them at this time, you call them at that time. If you say that this is going to happen, make it happen. It only takes like one of those mistakes for a client to lose respect for you. Now, I like to give grace to people. So like if somebody messes up or if I mess up, I try to ask for grace because I'm not perfect and I know human beings aren't perfect. But some clients out there, they don't have patience. So you got to be able to follow through with everything you say. And then the follow back. It's like if you sell something, how come you don't follow back? You did all this hard work to get the client. I think a high character salesperson continues to build a dependable business where they're following back to their clients. Your reputation in business is the most important thing that you can have. Now, listen, are we going to deal with some crazy clients? Are we going to deal with some clients that we actually have to fire? Like they just can't be our client anymore? Yeah, man, I've had to fire some crazy ones. I want to know that like when I'm delivering, I want to have the confidence that I know that I do what I say. So then that way, every time I talk to a client, I have such high character. I have such a high integrity. I know that I'm not taking shortcuts. I know that I'm delivering on everything I say. So when I talk to a client, that raises my confidence. I'm like, listen, here's what I'm gonna do for you. I'm gonna do this, 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 and this. I can portray that confidence because I believe in myself. I believe in my character. I believe in my intentions. So the clients can feel that.